Bienvenidos a otra edición de Tomando Café con Jesús Hoyos. Hoy tenemos a Matt Johnson de Customer I.O. Matt, welcome. For a second you thought, oh, we're going to do this in Spanish.
No, I knew. Full disclosure, I've listened to some of the previous recordings with English speakers, and you try to trick us every time.
I know. I tried to do that. Where are you calling from today, Matt?
I am calling from beautiful Seattle, Washington, Pacific Northwest. It's Coffee Town, so I'm very excited we get to talk about coffee today. This is near and dear to my heart so much. I brought some notes on some coffee, what I'm drinking right now.
You know what? I've been to Seattle many times as a tourist. Mm-hmm. Okay, I used to have family who used to live there. A cousin that used to work at the Coast Guard. Mm-hmm. But I've been, Olympic National Park. We did the whole loop up the way to Vancouver, down to national, Portland, the whole thing. So, we like hiking and we love the national parks, and so I've been there. Actually, to be honest, I think it's probably the only city that I've been there as a tourist. Because the other ones have been more as a business conferences, Okay. So. And yes, I'm a coffee drinker. Right now, I have my cup of my first company that I used to work as a consultant, Cambridge Technology Partners.
Oh, wow.
That's back then. That's when I started doing customer journeys with a major telco in Ecuador.
Oh, wow.
Customer journeys for collections.
Okay.
Back then, this is 1992, 93.
Okay.
And of course, I started, because of my travel all the way through Latin America, we always, let's get out, walk, and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So, now because I'm getting older, so I'm more of a person who drinks, Café Negro or black coffee. Okay. But every time that I go, I try to drink something new in the country. So I have the local, coffee bean.
Yeah. Okay.
To get it, So, but of course, I'm being Boricua from Puerto Rico, so I'm biased. My love is for Puerto Rican coffee, but
love it.
Down in the kitchen here, we have Colombian, Peruvian, Costa Rican coffee as well.
All single beans, single origin.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to ask you this question: do you know which bean has more caffeine? The light roast or the dark roast?
It's light roast. Light roast has more caffeine. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
After all these years drinking coffee, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know the science behind it, but yeah, you would think dark roast would be stronger.
Exactly, because the more you roast the bean, the caffeine goes away.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. That's logical.
I know it's logical, from that point of view. So what cup you have in here?
I have my University of Washington. Sorry, our video. University of Washington. I'm a proud Husky. I'm an alum. It's my passion. Season ticket holder for football. Like, that is, our falls are spent at the stadium watching games. Me and my son. It's great. So I got this mug for Christmas. I love it. It's a big one too. It's not like a small 8-ounce cup. It's like a full 16, ready to go.
So if the Hokies, are you still Big 12? No, I'm sorry.
So we're Big 10 now.
Big 10.
Big 10, yes. They moved a couple seasons ago.
Okay.
I will forever be a Pac-10, Pac-12 guy. West Coast, right? West Coast football. It's weird watching my dogs fly all the way across the country to play Rutgers. But this is the reality of.
Well, my daughter went to Oregon. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we
that's a separate podcast.
Yeah, so that's another, definitely. I'm a Big 12. That's why I said Big 12. I used to be a Big 8. I went to Iowa State.
Okay.
So this year we had a couple of years, we've been having a good football team.
Yeah.
So, and of course, baseball, basketball, they made it. I think this year Sweet 16, they made it to the Sweet 16. So, so like you, we with my daughters and my wife, we follow all the college sports, so even hockey.
Very cool. So, yeah. Again, my Huskies, man, I love them. I love it. And then I would be remiss if I didn't share with you what was in the cup. I mean, this is a Tomando Café, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm drinking Café Vita, is the roaster, legendary Seattle roaster and coffee shop. We're known for more than just Starbucks in the city.
Understand, yeah.
It is their Café del Sol brand. It was invented in 1995. As you can tell, I'm a product marketer, right?
Yeah.
It was the first blend was 1995. It's a mix of Brazilian, Ethiopian, and Guatemalan beans, so it's not single bean, single origin. It's a medium roast. Tasting notes: chocolate, caramel, cherry. Very much in my wheelhouse. I like chocolate and caramel in my roast. I'm not a fruit flavor, right? Like you kind of get two styles in coffee. I have it on a medium grind and an automatic grinder. And then I did it with an automatic drip. So just like put the beans in, put the water in, let it go. It is my daily driver. I love it. I did take notes to make sure I got it correct. But yeah.
So it's art and science for you when you drink your coffee.
Yes. And since I'm in Seattle, I'm a coffee newbie. Like this isn't even deep. This isn't even deep in coffee culture. This is just like daily coffee kind of stuff.
Perfect. Excellent.
There are people here that are very, very specific in what they want.
Well, so if we translate that to customer journeys, it's very similar because, what maybe you want to tell us a little bit what you do at Customer IO and tell us what Customer IO does. And then we start, going into the different topics.
Very cool. Yeah, happy to. So I'm product marketing team over here at Customer IO. Really, that means product stories out, customer stories in. That's my job. I work closely with our sales team, with our partnerships team. Again, product stories out, customer stories in. Very easy way to describe what we do or what I do. Customer IO, if you're not familiar with us, we are an AI-powered customer engagement platform. What that really means is we help our customers send better messages for better outcomes. We're multi-channel, so that means email, SMS, WhatsApp, in-app messages, push notifications, really any communication channel you can think of. We either have it natively or we can connect to it via API or webhook. So we have some customers that connect call center to us, right? Lots of channels. We're about 12 years old. We recently announced we crossed 100 million ARR. So in a lot of ways, it feels like we finally made it. And another side, it feels like we're just getting started in this race. But right now, I'm looking at fresh numbers this week. We're over 9,000 customers, 99% CSAT, 100 billion messages plus sent last year from our platform, from our customers. We're just going. We're building this thing. And again, it all comes down to better messages for better outcomes for our customers. And it's a really, really exciting time at the company.
And you have customers in LATAM. That's what I got to
We do, yes.
Guys.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we do have customers in LATAM. We are global, and we love LATAM, and we're going to keep growing down there for sure.
Yeah. And Matt, are you guys, more or can you adjust to companies that are B2B and B2C, or are you just focus more in B2C?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm asking this because, I have a couple of podcasts that I talk about the confusion of marketing automation versus customer journeys and B2B versus B2C. And, and when I look in LATAM, a lot of companies, they only have a budget for one marketing application,
Yes.
or when you look at a bank, they have different business units, one for consumers, one for small businesses, and one for corporations. And then you have the private lending, private banking, So do I need to buy, 5 Customer IO for each unit? Because that's something that happens. And this happens a lot with us when, with my stories when we do, customer journeys, that you said I have 5 different brands, and then I need to market, for one brand, but this other brand is the one that, I want to sell, water for water, or soda, or, any organic drinks, whatever, but I also have a supermarket that I want to target the supermarket because I want the supermarket to sell more of my products. So I do trade marketing. So it's B2B, B2C in a sense.
Yeah.
So how that works for you guys?
Yeah. So yeah, great question. So We do both B2B and B2C. We have a great mix. We're almost 50-50 in both of those business models. Category wise, we see a ton of success in SaaS and fintech, health tech. We have some banking customers in LATAM. I don't think I can disclose their names, but we do have some customers there. The way our platform is built, it's workspaces. So using the bank example, you could have the bank as the account owner and then have separate workspaces for each of the business lines or each of the use cases. And within each of those workspaces, we support both marketing messaging, right? Hey, buy stuff, or hey, make deposits and here's a new rate, but also transactional messaging. So password resets and deposit confirmations and all of the things that sort of a rhythm of business type things that we find our customers find tremendously valuable, both our B2B and B2C customers. So yes is the answer. We can do all of those things and we love doing all of those things. And we have customers doing all of those things within our platform. Again, our goal is really just to help you send better messages, whether those are transactional or commercial, B2B or B2C. Like it comes down to the better messages for us.
Yeah, and traditionally, before I go into I have 6 or 5 topics.
Yeah, of course.
But traditionally, when you go after, your ideal, customer or your buyer personas, you place ad on, somewhere in Facebook, Google, and so on, organic, paid media, and so on. And traditionally, those are for new customers. Okay. Or you want to steal them from the competition,
Yeah.
And they go into a landing page, you enter the information, there's a product interest, and you go through some nurturing, in the bank, for example, I'm kicking the tires to see if I buy, get a mortgage, and the decision is going to be in 6 months. So you have the capabilities. I get that, understand how that works, do some nurturing, click here, click there. And whenever I see there's an intent to buy, boom, I send it to the CRM. So the person in the CRM can make the phone call, set up the appointment, the traditional. And I know that we have AI, we have, many ways of how to automate that, but the base, which is something like usually you do with, a hotspot, the Marketo.
Yeah.
So you have sort of those capabilities.
Yeah, totally. And I appreciate you selling our product for us right now. Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, totally. So yes, we are a platform designed for lifecycle marketing. From that moment of first identification is where we really excel, right? So we need an identifier. We need somebody to contact people with. We're not an advertising platform. And then, yes, we're nurturing you through purchase and then post-purchase, nurturing that relationship. So the scenario you're talking about, we have a workflow builder in our product. It's a canvas, it's a drag and drop where you can map out contact process. So in this scenario, right, it's first communication, right, with an email or a phone or something or WhatsApp. And then when you get the buying signal you want, which you would define in the platform, you can fire off a message to the CRM of your choice, right? We natively integrate with HubSpot and Salesforce and really through webhooks. You can connect to anything that you're connecting to, that you need to connect to, which then can trigger your workflow and your other product. Or we connect with Slack. A lot of companies are using Slack to manage these types of interactions where, say a customer clicks on a button in an email and we know that that's a buying signal. It'll fire off a Slack message internally that says, hey, hot lead, or however you want to classify it, and then get that ball rolling and make sure that you're bringing in people where you need to bring in people, or you can keep them in an automated nurture flow, multi-channel, right? It doesn't have to stay in email. It doesn't have to stay in SMS as an example. Again, it's flexible, and it's designed to be flexible because I don't know your business. I don't know the ins and outs of your business. I don't know the ins and outs of your buyers, but I can help you sequence messages in a way that drives the outcomes you need.
Okay, now let me follow through. So I go through the process. I'm a customer. I bought product X. Okay, and there's an onboarding process, and then I want to upsell, cross-sell.
Yep.
I want to put you in a journey for onboarding. Make sure that you log into the platform, you download whatever you need to download, that you use the product, and then you buy, the complementary add-on, and then you buy X and Y and Z, because I want to do the uplift through, upselling and cross-selling. Because that's the traditional customer journey, no? Buy more from, and traditionally in retail, that's what people do. You go to the shopping cart and you buy, and then I send all the omni-channel stuff that I need to do, so I can come back and do the repeat business.
Yep.
And you do that.
Yep, absolutely. Right. You as the user decide what you want these journeys to look like. You decide what you want the flows to look like. You decide what the content is. You decide what the channels are. We have, through AI and through some things in our platform, we can provide suggestions and recommendations. But we pride ourselves on our flexibility and the ability to address these life cycle moments, whether it's, acquisition through engagement and through retention, cross-sell, upsell, all of the great things that growth marketing teams and lifecycle marketing teams are out there doing right now. We love to see it.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, I'm ready.
So in the life cycle, I'm going to call in or go to their website. I'm going to complain. Okay.
Yeah.
Fill out the NPS, the CSAT survey. I might have 3 open cases. I might have leave a bad review here and there.
Yeah.
So, I want to do a journey, on that behavior.
Yeah.
I want to, it's more customer service, traditional customer service, they already have their own application to do their own journeys, and so I should be, the application should be listening of, okay, I'm in the CRM, whatever, it's actually Zendesk.
Yeah.
I'm listening to Zendesk because, I don't see an email that is open. I don't see my people, following the SLA, I'm listening to that data, and I want to use Customer IO to, put up the journeys,
Yeah.
Can you guys do that?
You could architect that. Yeah, we do have a Zendesk integration if that's your CS tool. There are ways to do it, right? Again, it's about flexibility, and it's about, just defining channels and triggers. So if you have a CS specific trigger that will start a campaign, like, let's go, let's do it, let's figure it out. I think your CS team might want to manage tickets within their Zendesk or something else, but
no, that's the case. And here comes my first topic, which is number 3 on my list. Is the whole, because I go to your website and I do my research. You have a strong message that we support omni-channel customer messaging.
Yep.
So that's why I was asking those questions. I'm a brand new customer. I go to the sales process, B2B, B2C, workspaces. I go into onboarding. I go upselling, cross-selling, and the customer is going to call and complain. And I'm listening to that data. And the omni-channel needs to be the whole life cycle. Not the marketing, not the sales, not the customer service, not the onboarding, not the upselling. Omni-channel, the customer life cycle.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to put that into context. So how do you guys do that? What is the engine? What is you thinking? What is the product that help me do that?
Yeah, I mean that is core to what we do and how we think about the world, right? We know that the customer journey is not linear, right? We all love as marketers and as consultants. We love to build a beautiful bow tie funnel and assume people move stage by stage, and then they grow with us, and then they bring their friends, and we just build this beautiful flywheel. It's not linear, and so our tool is very much designed to give our users the ability to manage or to operate in a non-linear world, such that it's not get this one email and then the next email and then the next email. It's what happens with this message. Now let's figure out where we go next. And we actually just recently released a product update that we're calling LLM actions within our workflows, so that you can, I think AI is on the list. It's got to be on everybody's list today, but you can call out.
Well, listen, we've been talking for 20 minutes,
Yes.
I know
you said AI.
This is the first time at the beginning you mentioned AI powered application, okay, but you were not pushing AI. It took you 20 minutes. So thank you.
There we go. So anyway, AI, yes, LLM actions in our platform gives you the ability to, after every moment of engagement, you can call an LLM. We right now are supporting Gemini and Opus models directly in our platform. You call your LLM of choice, prompt it, you define the prompt, and use your LLM if that's your way of deciding next best action or next best step or next best piece of content. Again, it's about flexibility and adapting to this non-linear customer journey. And I think we're one of the few companies that are doing that really well and really embracing the idea of chaos. When you think about how you shop, when I think about how I shop, how I engage with brands, it's not linear. There are companies I haven't talked to in a year, and I might go to the store tomorrow and buy something, right? Very non-linear.
So,
and I think as a platform, we have to embrace that.
Yeah. So when you said, non-linear, let me classify this so I can go into the next topic.
Yeah.
And traditional, most of the journeys or most of the applications out there, you do a journey left to right.
Yep.
And it's behavior based of what you dictate as a company, as a brand, versus when, for me, non-linear is that the customer, the end consumer, dictates the behavior, and then I have nodes, and then I'm going to have linear and non-linear. I go here, I go down there, so the journey, the node is listening to the activity. And based on that, it's going to do whatever it needs to do. It could be a full linear, or it could be another node. Okay. And in order for me to do that, I need to have access to real-time data.
Absolutely.
And then the data could be in a CDP, Customer Data Platform. It could be in a Snowflake, Databricks, Google. Okay. And I know you guys do a lot of stuff with Google. Or it could be data that is stored like in Salesforce, one a particular, And I know that we are into first primary data, and that's why we mentioned that. But now that cookies are here to stay, they're not going to be gone.
Or whatever,
whatever that means, But now we have, like you mentioned, the LLM or any type of model, short, small, large, whatever, big, universe, whatever we're going to call it. The real-time access to the data, it doesn't matter in what context, it doesn't matter where it's at, I need to be accessed, because not every company is mature to have Snowflake or to have a CDP. I might have just data in BigQuery, call it what, I come from back then we used to call it a marketing database. Or an operational data store.
And it was on-prem too, right?
On-prem too, exactly. I come from Informix. That's what I used to do that back in Informix. Or when I used to work at Cambridge Technology Partners, we used to do that way back in the 90s, So client server, So the data is somewhere. Totally. And I know that, we have all these new technologies, AI, CDPs, blah, blah, blah. But are you guys flexible enough to do all of the above, or do the simple stuff, or the more complicated stuff?
Yeah. Great question. Great setup too. So sort of the way that we think about the world, right? You have a system of action, and that's us, right? And you have a system of record, and that could be all of these different sources that you're talking about. And so the question we're always trying to answer is, how do we get things in systems of record into the system of action, right? And so when we think about what we're capable of today, not only do we have, SDKs for web and mobile, and we love mobile, right? Because that's real-time data. Those SDKs are firing and sending you information. But we'll also connect to your data warehouses of choice, right? You pick it, we'll connect it. We've got native reverse ETL if you want to get into the weeds there.
So you guys do reverse ETL.
It's native. It's included in the platform. We consider first-party data non-negotiable, right? Our system of action or our system of activity doesn't work without first-party data. Like, that is just like, period. No first-party data, we don't operate. And that's behavioral events, etc. So SDKs, reverse ETL, from your data warehouse of choice. It's really kind of, we connect CRMs, like I said, Salesforce, HubSpot. We're connected to ADIO if you're using ADIO. We're connected or we're looking at some other ones that are bubbling up. I've heard some cool ones in Brazil are coming up. Again, it's really like, without first party data, our platform doesn't operate. So native connections, If there isn't a native connection built today, like webhooks, API calls, like let's get the data in. You could be so then the next part is resolving identity, right? Because you want to have identity before you can do activity. We'll consume from CDPs if that's where you're resolving identity. Your data warehouse, right? If you're building, maybe you're using high touch to build identity or segment to build identity in your data warehouse. It kind of doesn't matter to us.
For those who aren't listening, high touch and segment are CDPs.
Yes. Thank you.
One segment is a package CDP. High touch is a composable CDP. I already have a podcast that discusses that. I will put it on the link so you understand the differences, just to make sure. And primary data is the data that you own as a company. That you have in different places.
And then Snowflake, BigQuery, Databricks is your cloud data warehouses. Again, we don't have a preference, right? Like our whole goal here is to activate first party data. So it's really more of a where's your data, where are your signals coming from? Let's go connect to it. We'll have preferences on the type of data that comes to us, right? Like some events are noise, some behavioral information is noise, but you tell us where the data is and we're going to go and help you find it. And for the most part, let's just.
So I got that then. Thank you. So let me move to the next point that has to be data, messaging, and AI.
Yeah.
Okay. And I see that you have a audience module feature product. So if I have my customer information in Snowflake.
Yep.
Okay. And I have Google ads over here, or I have Facebook ads over here, and maybe I have a CDP for a particular customer base.
Yep.
High touch. Okay. So I have Snowflake, high touch over here, and I have all the ads platform.
Yep.
Can I bring all that information from these data sources and bring that into your audience product?
Yeah.
And do all the segmentations, the audience, so I can then combine, the data that is in 4 different places. I'm going to bring that data into audience, your product audience, and then I can combine the right messaging and eventually, with AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So right, without getting too into the technical weeds, it's just about a linking key. Like what is the thing that connects all the different data sources? Because identity is foundational in any marketing, right? Particularly in digital. You have to know who you're talking to. So we can take all of your different data sources, combine them into a record, right? Into a customer record. And from that customer record, you can now build segments in our platform, right? So you could say, let's build a segment of all customers that have purchased jeans in the last 30 days. Perfect. Our platform will say, okay, looking at all the different attributes that are available, let's go and build that segment. Let's get the whatever identifier we've decided is the identifier we need for the destination. And then we'll spit out the segment, and then you can activate that segment in our platform, or you can send that segment to other platforms, right? If you want to use that first party built segment, this audience, send it to an ad network and let the ad network build their lookalike models against this known audience that you're confident in. Boy, now you can send owned and operated messages, and you can send ads with higher confidence and ideally a better return on ad spend. So to the question, can we take all of these different sources, combine them, build audiences that then can be activated against? Absolutely. That's core to what we do. Again, it's activating first party data.
So let me ask you, I don't know if I'm going to put you in the spot here or not. A customer data platform.
Yep.
The concept, I'm not talking if it's composable or if it's packaged or built from zero.
Yeah.
For me, it has 3 main functions. Okay. You identity.
Yep.
Okay. You do segments and then audiences.
Yep.
Okay. And with that audience that has a target specific for a particular campaign, okay, you do the action, the activation.
Yep.
It's a journey. It goes out.
Yep.
Okay. Do I need to have a CDP to do that or not? Or I can just do it we just mentioned? Because you mentioned I can bring the data from different places. I do the identity linkage, and then I segment, and then I do activation. That sounds like the three main functionality for a CDP, but without being a CDP.
Yeah. So a couple reactions. First, I don't think we want to devolve this conversation into a debate of the purpose of CDPs at this stage of the category, because that's in itself a very fascinating conversation. Specific to our platform, a couple years ago, we actually launched a CDP. We called it Data Pipelines. And what we learned is most of our customers don't want a separate CDP SKU. They just want to know it's there. They want that core identity and segmentation capability in the platform. They didn't want to buy something else. So we actually sunset that product last year, folded it right in. So do you need a CDP to use our platform? No, not at all. If you have a CDP, can you use our platform? Absolutely. Because depending on the CDP you're using, you might have some really, really great modeling capabilities and some historical segmentation capabilities, and that's okay. We can consume the segments straight from your CDP if that's the path you want to take. Like, it's up to you, really. We think we're pretty good at segmentation and identity, but again, if you have another system, if you have a system of record that is building great segments, that is doing great identity, like somebody like Amperity, who has a bunch of patents on probabilistic identity resolution, maybe you're buying them and you love it. That's fine with us. You can still send all of those pre-built segments to us, and let's go activate them, right? Again, we're a system of activation. And so we want to make sure that you get to activate the audiences.
But the reason I was asking, because not every company is mature to have a Snowflake. Not every company is mature to have a CDP, whatever version. Okay.
Yep.
But at the very end, if I want to do customer journeys, somehow I need to have the capability to do identity, segmentation with the audiences, and activation.
Yep. As I say, the three legs of MarTech are identity, insights, and activation. You can do that all in our platform. If all of your customer data is stored in CSVs, maybe you've just got a bunch of Google Sheets somewhere, send it on over. We'll take it. You can upload those sheets. And we'll get it all sorted out. Because again, we're a system of activation.
And the reason I'm asking, because from the LATAM perspective, we have small businesses. We have multinational companies from Mexico, or from Brazil, or from Colombia. And they have, the multinational companies from, United States, Europe, whatever, and they all have different levels of capabilities and maturity level. And there's different rules and regulations in each country. And some might have a really good CDP platform because they have a really good marketing agency who's helping them, but when that happens and that, that team leaves, there goes the CDP. Okay. And like you said, you have, I right now have a customer who have a bunch of CSVs, and unfortunately the CSV are given to us through another CDP, but we cannot connect to the CDP. So what I'm saying here is that, you have all these different scenarios, and what I look like, that you offer flexibility to mix and match those different scenarios depending on the level of maturity of your company.
Absolutely. So we again pride ourselves in our data flexibility. We want to make sure that you can get the data into our platform, right? Because we want to send messages, and you need first-party data to send messages. So it's really like, bring your data wherever it is. We're going to figure it out. Because our platform doesn't operate without that data. So we have to be flexible by nature. And if you talk to other companies in our category that aren't as flexible, like that's kind of a red flag to me. Like, we want to be able to say, it's your data, it's your schema, you bring it over, and we're going to adapt to what you're doing, instead of forcing you to fit into our box, if you will.
Okay. I know that we're talking about AI. I'm going to leave my topic for AI to be last.
Okay.
Which is then, two more topics. The next topics, and I think you already mentioned it, I alluded to it, the life cycle and the behavior-based personalization. And a lot of people talk here about hyper-personalization, personalization, but traditionally, a customer profile have different levels of data, signals, and indirect and direct data that tells you who the customer is, and behavior is one of them. Okay. And behavior, we can use machine learning, deep learning, we can use AI, we can use data science, we can use R, you name it, SaaS based. We can calculate, customer lifetime value, recency, frequency, monetary amount. We can put that into history and come back and say, who's going to buy from you for sure, in the next 3 months. What are your capabilities, to calculate those possible metrics, customer metrics, in behavior, so you can personalize the journey to be just in time, the right moment, and focus on the life cycle, because you're sort of like listening, and you're gonna do that activation. How you guys work for that? Do I need to calculate that outside and bring that? Do I need 20 data scientists doing this? Or you guys do it by yourself, or it's a hybrid model?
Yeah. So if you're looking for like machine learning powered predictive segmentation, we're working on that right now. We've been very intentional in how we're approaching it. I think I said at the top of the podcast, we're 14 years old. We have 14 years of customer behavior data, messaging engagement data in our database. And so we're being very intentional about how we are going to unlock that for customers. So machine learning powered predictive segmentation is on the roadmap. It'll be here. In the meantime, like we can help you figure out a way to get there. Our predictive abilities, if you will, and our pathing abilities and our personalization abilities really come from the behavioral attributes and that you send us. So in a customer profile, you can store unlimited JSON attributes. And so what we can do is look at all of the attributes you've provided us, and whether those are a one-time providing or, as we talked about earlier, real-time data, constantly updating those attributes. And then we can use our platform to build segments and build customer journeys based on the behavioral attributes that you're thinking about and the things that you're worried about or concerned about or trying to reinforce as well, right? It's not all negative. So within, again, our workflows tool, like you can access all of those things within our segmentation tool. You can set the rules. We do have a new feature that we rolled out recently called goals. And what we're thinking about with that is identifying all of the different campaigns that contribute to a goal. So we're trying to see if reorienting from a campaign first mind state to a goal mind state produces better outcomes for our customers. So instead of saying, I'm going to send a campaign to sell jeans, you can say, I want to sell 500 pairs of jeans this week. Let's go identify campaigns that could help. And using LLMs and using some of the features that we've recently released in our platform, we can actually look at all of your behavioral attributes and look at all of your data and look at your historical campaign engagement. And like we want you sending us, purchase information as well in this scenario, to then start recommending campaigns and say, well, if you send it to this segment at this time through these channels, here's what we think is going to happen, and start to test that way. So there's lots of ways to get to it. And again, it's pretty core to who we are, trying to think about how do we build better customer journeys and how do we navigate that nonlinear experience that customers have.
So listening to you, and I like the conversation because we're talking about, the base things, the foundation that we need,
Totally.
Identity, segmentation, activation, access to different type of data sources, the type of different journeys and so on, the whole life cycle and everything. And in the beginning, you mentioned, powered by AI. Okay. What that means right now for you guys, because, yes, AI is going to be there. And there's different ways, AI can do something and calculate, or I can be, with my own proprietary LLM in Databricks or Snowflake, doing calculations, and I do all this behavior information, and they say, oh, here I have something, let me send it to customer IO so we can activate. How do you guys work with AI? What is that foundation that powered by AI in the whole platform?
Yeah, what a vague positioning statement, right? Powered by AI. But we all say it these days. For us, AI is very much about value add. So we want to enhance and extend what our customers and what our users can do in our platform. Always, that's just sort of North Star for us. AI is a great way of doing that. And so it's not about by customer IO, AI will replace your marketers and it will run static campaigns and you will be happy. It's more of a, hey, let's introduce some tools the marketers can use to be better marketers. For us specifically, it's showing up in a couple ways. I mentioned LLM actions earlier. You can call Gemini, you can call Opus models directly from your workflows, right, to help path content, but also to personalize content. So we're supporting generative AI in our platform through more like text-based stuff. We're not in the business of creating videos in our platform or creating images in our platform. Like there are better tools for that. That's not a core competency for us. We can ingest those things, we can host those things, but we're not going to introduce a video tool anytime soon, right? But if you need help writing copy and those sorts of things, it'll show up generatively that way. We also recently released an agent, right? Like here we go with the agent conversation. A couple of weeks ago, beginning of April, we introduced an agent in our platform, one agent that just spans our entire platform. So wherever you are, you can prompt the agent, you can ask it a question, you can give it a task. And because it has context of the entire platform, it can go and get things done for you. What we're seeing our customers do, we're still early with it, but we're seeing a lot of, hey, I need to sell 500 pairs of jeans. What do I do? And the agent can then build campaigns and build recommendations and identify goals and do that value added work that we really believe AI can do, right? It's not a replace, it's value add, right? It's enhance and extend the user for us. So again, we're seeing some Gen AI adoption in content. We're using AI to influence workflows and customer journeys, right? To make decisions in real time in the moment. And then we're also, agents, right? Like we want an agent. I said agents plural, it's really singular. We have a single agent that spans the entire platform that actually helps you get more out of our platform. You can start with 0. You can just say, what do I do? And it might give you some recommendations. But really where it gets powerful is the more you use the agent, the more it understands your goals, the more it understands what you're trying to do, the more it understands your workspace. And then the recommendations and the actions get better and better. And we really think that's the future. We think it's about a co-pilot is not the right word, but it's very much call it a partner in crime that's going to help you get more out of the tool, but ultimately drive better outcomes for your business.
So again, let me put you on the spot.
Please.
You've been doing this for, Customer AI has been in business for 14 years.
Yeah.
And then we have in the market a bunch of legacy tools.
Yep.
Okay. Every market, and you can do, anybody can do a prompts anywhere, do a Google search, and you will find out, all the legacy tools out there. And many of those legacy tools, the reporting is really bad.
Yeah.
You have to use Power BI, Tableau, whatever to bring it. And many of those, the reporting is based on the email sent or the message sent or the journey, but they don't go down to the customer.
Yeah.
Okay. You have what's it called? You have data sources or data views or whatever data components, and you need to bring that into a Power BI. Okay, and to combine and do the stuff, which is another added cost.
Yep.
So I see, I'm listening to you, and for what the research that I have, I can ask, how's my segment doing? Like you mentioned, I need to send, 500 pair of jeans, tell me what to do.
Yep.
Okay, but at the same time, you need to have analytics. I want to know, how, which journey is effective, which version of the journey is working better. In that note, what is better, that email or that WhatsApp message?
Yep.
What are your capabilities to do that so I don't have to export that and put it in Power BI or Tableau?
Yeah, man. Great question. So within the goals feature that we released recently, it's really designed to do that. It's really designed for you to identify all the different ways that you're contributing to a business goal through your marketing, and then identify the things or the campaigns or the broadcasts or, you know, whatever your messaging strategy is, that's driving the best outcome, right? Right now it's last touch attribution, right? Which is pretty standard. But it's really about, I have a goal, right? Continuing to use the jeans metaphor. I need to sell 500 pairs of jeans this month. Here are the campaigns that I think are contributing to that. Who's contributing the best? Are there combinations? And you start to get into pattern recognition and pattern matching and the things that help you understand what's actually contributing. If you're looking for, call it a Power BI experience or a Tableau experience, we'll also support exporting all of that campaign data as well, right? If you have a Power Analytics team that is just absolutely outstanding in their specific tool of choice, absolutely.
Like, yeah, because you need that report for the top executive.
Yeah, yeah. If you need it, like, absolutely. Again, back to data. We believe data is the foundation. Okay. So we're happy to export it, but we're pretty proud of what you can do in goals as well, and identifying from a marketing lens what's driving outcomes.
So I have two more questions. They just came up, and we're ending here.
Absolutely.
In your website, even though you mentioned journeys, and I see in your screenshots and everything, you said create a campaign.
Yep.
Okay. And again, many of the legacy systems, everything is a journey versus a campaign.
Yeah.
So can I have a campaign with multiple journeys?
So now it's I would, for our tool and the way that our nomenclature works in our product, I would actually start with a journey and then have multiple campaigns within the journey. And that's just sort of a nomenclature thing, again, specific to our product. But yes, you can have, call it, multiple messaging strategies for a single goal, if that framing makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, like, again, we're built to be flexible, and we want to make sure.
Well, the reason I'm asking, and you brought a good point, because the definition of a campaign, I'm going to use here Salesforce, for example.
Yep.
Pardot, a campaign is totally different to what a campaign is in Sales Cloud.
Yep.
And just in Marketing Cloud, you sort of have a campaign, but it's not attached to a journey. And then if you have paid media, so Facebook, Google, TikTok, whatever, Instagram, they have different meaning for campaigns.
Yep.
And that's where, from the context point of view and defining the reports in Tableau, BI, and then you go now to your objectives and goals in Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics, that the definition is totally different. But there's a structure for what I'm listening to you, for what you have, because all that, when I do the reportings, eventually I have to bring that into a Tableau or Power BI. I need to be sure that I have that assigned, but
totally.
You answer my question. You have a structure. We just need to be sure to understand what it is in the scope of that.
It's nomenclature, and then just quickly, when we're exporting data, like we'll map to your schema, right? Like, you tell us what fields go where.
I'm a data. I'm a campaign governance freak, because I help people implement and execute and optimize the campaigns in the whole ecosystem. And not everything is Salesforce, and not everything is HubSpot. I have customers who have HubSpot, Sales Cloud and Zendesk all together.
You can see that,
and that's everywhere. Okay. Now, my last question, who are your partners? I know you mentioned Salesforce. You just came from Google, the Google Next conference. And then you have, NVIDIA. I don't know who else out there. Who are your big partners out there? That you see, or the categories of partners that you have.
So when we think about partnerships, like a lot of companies of our style, you have sort of an agency path and an ISV, or a technology alliances path, all sort of sitting under the same team. On the agency side, man, it's we have partners of all sizes and types on the agency side. We love our marketing agencies. We love our SIs. We love all the people that help make our software more performative for the end user. So people of all companies and sizes, right? In LATAM, like Radar is a huge partner of ours. We love Marcelo and the team. On the ISV side or on the technology alliances side.
Side note. The reason I'm talking to Matt here is because the guys from Radar reached out to me to discuss, what they're doing with Customer IO and other tools around Customer IO. And that brought my attention. That's why I'm talking to Matt. So they have very soon I'm going to have a podcast with them as well. So they have some really good stuff that they're doing in Latin America. Go ahead, Matt.
Really an outstanding agency and really reflective of where I think agencies are going in this, both creative and technical capabilities. On the technology side, technology alliances side, key partners for us, we're Google Cloud. Like, we are GCP native. We love Google. Google loves us. We're in the marketplace. If anybody listening has Google Cloud commit they need to burn down, we are there. We are the only customer engagement platform in the Google Cloud marketplace. So we're here for you if you need us. Google is big for us. Twilio is really big for us. We love their communications infrastructure. We also love the Segment product, right? Like, that is a great package CDP, as you called out earlier. Really great data that comes into our platform, and we bi-directional with them. We consider Salesforce a very burgeoning partner for us, right? Like, I think historically you would think our products, Marketing Cloud and Customer IO, are competitive, but what we're actually seeing is use cases coming through the Salesforce agency channels mostly, where people are putting our products together, right? We know that Salesforce CRM is, everybody has the Salesforce CRM, and people don't want to switch off of it. Like, they use it. We use it internally as well. Like, we're a Salesforce customer, like everybody is. So Salesforce is a developing partnership for them. We really love what they're doing over there and what they're trying to do. They've got some really cool things coming up. I'm really excited to see what they announce in June at their agents conference. What do we say? Google, Twilio, Salesforce. On the smaller ISV side, like, we love some of the ad networks right now. We're looking for, again, partners that enhance and extend what we do, right? Not necessarily folks that compete with what we do, right? Pretty standard strategy. So we think about, like, ad networks, because we're not an advertising platform. So folks like Vibe are really fun for us. We've got some friends over at Mountain right now that we're working on an integration with. Also analytics platforms, right? So we have our core analytics functionality, but, like, there are power users that need better reporting and better data. So Amplitude, Mixpanel are good partners for us, and folks that we actually see a lot of work with. On the data inside, I know we've got all sorts of partners going on. Snowflake is a really good partner of ours. Just saw those guys down at the Google Next conference, hung out for a little bit. We love Snowflake. Yeah, man, it's really
so let me put this into context, because from the Latin American perspective, we definitely we have a lot of Salesforces everywhere, like you mentioned, and there's a lot of people that said, I have Marketing Cloud today. I'm Pardot, and I'm not yet ready to move into the Salesforce full 100% ecosystem. Okay, so there's a good option there to use Customer IO, okay, until I'm ready to do CDP, AI, or the whole Marketing Cloud next, so that's one option. Actually, any other legacy, you can also be an option. Then we have, a lot of these companies, hardcore Google. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're an agency or you are a company, that have, everything Google. You guys are as a perfect match for that. Then you have a lot of companies who are using Twilio, okay, and you might have Segment, or you might have the Twilio quote-unquote, engagement tool. But you don't have it is very API based, but maybe you want to use the capability of the Segment to do you, and you do the rest. Okay. And then you have, the Snowflake, I have my Snowflake, or I have my data cloud, which is my warehouse in the cloud. And sort of, I'm pretty well mature with that as a customer. I don't want to buy a CDP. I don't have time to do CDPs. I think I have everything. I can mix and match what I have and use Customer IO to do what I need to do.
Yep, totally. You should come work for us. Our partnership strategy, again, it's about enhancing and extending the value of our core platform, right? Sending better messages. And there are all sorts of partners that can help us with that. And that it's very much ecosystem, right? In this world that we're in today, it's about, do you know my friends? And do you play well with my friends? And so we're very much like, who should we be friends with? We want to be friends with everybody. We do have some, lead best friends, I guess is the phrase we would use here. But yeah, it's about flexibility and extensibility and being able to play in your ecosystem as well. Question back to you. You've had the joy of asking all the questions. Who should we be thinking about? Latin America is a developing market for us. Like, we're really excited about what we're seeing down there. Just because I'm in Seattle, right? Geographically, it's south of me. Who should we be thinking about? Who are the technology companies or the ISVs that excite you right now in Latin America?
Definitely, the Databricks or the Snowflakes. And especially those agencies who are, there's a Snowflake agencies, Databricks agencies, people who are doing, segmentations. I mean, those are those agencies are really definitely those guys. And, and there's a side note that we can discuss of those over there. And then, there's a lot of companies like what you do in Latin America, okay, that sometimes they don't scale, okay, and mostly in retail and banking. So whoever is going after those banking and retail, especially with, retail has two sides, the e-commerce and combining the offline traffic to the store, okay, and talking to all these multiple data sources. Okay. Because I think there's a good fit for what I'm listening to you guys, agencies, system integrators or companies that have their own team that have diverse data sources. Okay. Yes, they might have a AI strategy. They might have a data governance or data structure initiative, but they need to sell today, And I need to do all this. So a lot of people are migrating to a Snowflake and Databricks, but they still need to talk to the older stuff to do stuff.
Exactly.
So a lot of those companies, from what I'm listening to you and from the Latam perspective, they are moving to 100% to the data cloud. And there's a transition process. You guys are a fit for that.
That's great.
Because you can connect. I don't need to have a data cloud. A CDP. So every time that I hear that message that I need to use a data cloud, some company like Blue Chief, and I think you came from Blue Chief.
I know those guys.
I talked to them last year. He said, I have a CDP, but you don't have to use it. So that approach, but if you're telling me that I need a CDP, you have a fit, to go into that market, and especially all these big companies that have multiple brands, multiple, Latin America, the group of there's a group that owns 20 companies. You could be a fit for that. Of course, we need to talk about licensing, all that kind of stuff. That's another topic, but that could be another podcast, but that will be the goal, but so Matt,
very cool.
Since we're winding down here the podcast, what's next for you guys?
Man, we are trying to figure that out right now. A lot of really, really interesting discussions. MarTech is in a really interesting space right now. So I'm getting philosophical on you for a moment. We're seeing this convergence of MarTech and AdTech, right? Like it's first party data, and then what do you do with it? So we want to make sure that we treat first party data again is with the most respect we can. And then what are the use cases for it? What I'm personally really interested in is where can we extend our distribution, and distribution meaning entry points into our platform? So I think MCP and CLI is really, really interesting right now, right? We have
everything headless.
Yeah. We have an MCP server right now. It's live. You can access Customer IO through ChatGPT and Claude today. Like, our customers just go into our platform and push a button and connect everything. Right now, it's sort of kind of a read-only mode. Like, you're not able to actually
no, you don't.
campaigns
you probably don't want to do a create.
Yeah,
someday they run prompt. Who knows what you're gonna do? Campaign.
We'll have to put in guardrails, right, and the appropriate skills to make sure that we don't blow up our platform. But yeah, I think those sorts of scenarios are really interesting, and something that we're talking about a lot is, do people need to log into our platform to use our platform? And that's like a really interesting shift, right, in just software in general. Because we've all spent, decades at this point trying to drive people into a logged in experience in the web to execute tasks. And it's like, but if our users in Claude all day, if our users in ChatGPT or Cursor or whatever, product you prefer, or even Gemini, can they just access us there? And that's a really, really interesting topic that we've got to explore.
Yes and no. I mean, you don't have, you're not going to have 200 users, of Customer IO, because the marketing department, it could be just maybe 50 users, different in CRM, and a call center. And B2B, B2C, you're going to have people getting in there, entering data, seeing reports and everything. It's going to be supplemented at the very end. Actually, I have a blog post in Spanish very soon that I'm going to talk about that, because that changes everything. However, you could be somewhere, in a plane, and you come up with an idea, go to Cloud or Slack or whatever, to your MCP, and you're going to say, man, I think I have an idea for this customer base that we need to go after.
Yeah.
Let me ask, and then you come with that idea, give you everything in draft, and on Monday you sit down, you log in, and you validate, because you are not going to validate through a conversation through ChatGPT. I'm sorry. You gotta see. See, one of the problems that we have is that we don't understand the small data.
Okay. Yeah.
That the data that you see, that segmentation data that is in front of you, that you have to see it. It's like coffee. You need to smell it. You need to taste it. You said, this makes sense. Let me do a test. Let's put some seed customers. Let's do agile campaign. Let's test it. Let's see it. It makes sense. Let me expand. You need to have your front end to see it. I mean,
how do
you won't replace that human touch with the prompt. You won't.
I'm with you. I'm with you, my friend.
You see, I'm getting passionate.
I like it. We can do a whole nother hour on AI interaction models.
Okay. So Matt, if people want to reach out to you or know more about Customer IO,
please, LinkedIn's great, or just email me, matt.johnson@customer.io. Super easy. I'm here. I'm available.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's it for today.
Oh my gosh. This is so much fun. I really, really appreciate it.
So thank you for your time. I'm going to do the out. I don't use AI. I don't have anything fancy. This is just a conversation. My dog was over here. If he's barking, you will hear that him barking. But this is it, Matt. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Everybody knows already, how to reach out to him. I'm going to put the link, Customer IO, and the other podcast that I may reference on the website, so we can then move forward.
Love it.
Matt, thank you so much. So, este fue Jesús Hoyos con Matt Johnson. Parecemos que somos un equipo aquí de profesionales haciendo esto. Ya saben, estoy en todas las plataformas del podcast. Nos vemos en la próxima. Muchas gracias. Pórtense bien.